Hi guys, long time no sit down videos. By the way, who missed my sit down video episodes? And as you can guess, the background of my video has changed for good, okay? Because everybody knows I've moved. I move, we move, hey, forward ever, backward never. Oh, you guys, I have moved, okay? So you'll be seeing more of this background and maybe another kind of background pretty soon, okay? Like I said, I moved. Right now I am making this video from the UK. Everybody knows I've been making so much noise about it lately. Anyways, it's not easy, but you know now. So yeah, I've been making a lot of posts about my move to the UK, and I've been getting a lot of questions, a lot of inquiries, like, please, how do I do this? How did you do this? How did you do that? How were you able to do this? That. And I'm like, okay, so why not I do like a series of videos making like education, informative content on specific things, just so that when you start your process you can easily refer to this video and get some answers to your questions. Okay, so from the thumbnail and from the title you can guess what this video is about. So this video is about the process of doing your UK TB test. Now, if this is something you're interested in, or probably you'll start your process really soon, then maybe you should watch till the end, because it's going to be informative from start to finish. So let's start. UK TB test is done in only 3 states in Nigeria. Like I said, I'm specific about my use of words here. I said UK TB test because you can actually do your TB test in any hospital that does tuberculosis test. By the way, TB stands for tuberculosis, like, I mean, everybody knows, okay? So for the purpose of this video, Abuja will be called a state. I mean, Abuja is FCT, but we just call it a state. So it is done in 3 states in Nigeria: Benin, Lagos, and Abuja. However, there are 7 centers. Yes, there are 7 centers in these 3 states, but there are just 3 states where this happens. Now let me break it down so you understand it better. Like I said, with the 3 centers, of course, there are a lot of factors that determine where you do your TB test. Okay, so if you're in Port Harcourt, for instance, you most likely would want to do it in Benin because it is closer. And then if you are in the north, you most likely want to do it in Abuja, same as the west, or anywhere close to Lagos, you just want to do it in Lagos. However, there are other factors to consider aside distance. Okay, the second thing to consider is the cost. For instance, in Benin, it is more expensive than some centers in Lagos. I'll do like a breakdown of that later. In Benin, it is IOM, International Organization for Migration, that handles the TB test, and of course you pay in dollars. So because of the conversion rate and everything, it is more expensive, and you realize that sometimes it's even cheaper to do it in Lagos, because if you check your transport, you just have you just need to add, if you're going from Port Harcourt, for instance, or south or southeast, you just need to add a little to your transport and then go to Lagos to do it. However, the cost is not even the only thing you consider when you want to do your TB test. Okay, now the third thing to consider is the convenience. You guys, IOM charges higher. IOM in Lagos, Abuja, and Benin charges higher, but of course with those high fees come swift service. Like, you get your results immediately. Like, you do your test, you do everything within 2 to 3 hours, you get your certificate immediately and you leave. But with all of these centers that charge like 100k, 90k, you have to wait for 48 hours, and 48 hours is quite a lot of time if you work and you don't have time to like wait, just sit and wait like that in Lagos. Okay, so if you check the amount of extra days you will spend in Lagos, you find out that you can just add it, do it in Benin or do it in Abuja, depending on the region where you live. Now that I have explained these factors, let me now break down each of the centers. Like I said, we have 3 centers. Let's start with Abuja. There's just 1 center in Abuja, and that is International Organization for Migration. They charge $95 for adults and $46 for kids as at the time of filming this video. By the way, I'm filming this video in February. Today is 24th February. Yeah, so as at the time of filming this video, 24th February 2025, $95 for adults and $46 for kids. And then of course they do reprinting for $16. Now let me emphasize on this reprinting, because a lot of people will fall guilty or they'll fall short of this thing. Reprinting, that means after printing your certificate and there's a need to reprint it, you have to pay an extra $16. Now this looks like a small money, not just $16, until there's a mistake on your certificate. That's when your eye will now, like, open. So when you go for your, like, TB test, you do a lot of paperwork. They ask you for your passport number, your name, basically your details, your address, postcode, all of those things. Those things are what they include on that certificate. Mind you, use that certificate to apply for your visa. So everything on that certificate has to be as accurate, 100% accurate, no contradictions. Okay, so when they fill this form, if you're doing it at any of the IOM centers, they like to turn the screen to show you that, look at these things, read through them, cross check to check that it is correct. Make sure at that point you are not thinking of the person that broke your heart. Make sure at that point you're not thinking of your boss. Make sure at that point you're not thinking of anything. The only thing you're thinking of is looking at those details and ensuring that they are 100% correct. Okay, because if there's a mistake on your name, on your passport number, or any details of that thing, you have to reprint, and that reprinting costs $16. Do the mathematics, it's not easy, it's a big money. Okay, I don't know about you. So the second center we have is the center in Benin. It's also an IOM center, that is International Organization for Migration. It's the same price. IOM centers have the same price across the country. Okay, $95 for adults, $46 for kids, then reprinting fee. Okay, like I said, it's fast. IOM centers is fast, 2 to 3 hours and you are done. You leave with your certificate, and that's all. Capiche? Now let's go to Lagos. Baba for the boys. Baba for the boys. Lagos has 4 centers. Yeah, hold on. Oh, sorry. Lagos has 5 centers. Lagos has 2 IOM centers on GRA Ikeja. Like I said, IOM centers have the same prices, $95, $46 for kids, reprinting fee of $16. So Lagos has 2 IOM centers. Both of them are located in GRA Ikeja, and then they also have Q Life Clinic. Q Life Clinic charges 90,000 naira for adults and 40,500 for kids. Q Life Clinic is on Victoria Island. Can you see the difference? $95 and 90,000 naira. $95, depending on when I did mine at an IOM center, it was about $15 was about 15 plus as at then. So I paid, I think, 150 something thousand. That's what I paid compared to $90,000. You see the difference is a lot. So it depends on the exchange rate. Then there's also St. Nicholas Hospital is on the island, and they charge 100,000 for adults and 50,000 naira for kids. The third cheaper hospital, I don't know how to put it, or okay, let's say the 5th hospital, I've called 2 IOM centers, I've called Q Life Clinic, I've called St. Nicholas Hospital. The last one is the consultant's practice. The consultant's practice charges 90,000 naira for adults, 40,500 for kids, and then this same reprinting fee of 20,000. Now let me tell you something. If you're going to do at any of the centers, at least I know for Q Life, reprinting is free, especially when it's not your fault. Maybe it's the fault of the person typing in all of those details, because at Q Life they don't show you, in IOM after typing they show you these are your details, confirm it. For Q Life they don't. So it's possible that the person behind the computer made the mistake, so you do the reprinting for free, except of course in rare cases, maybe when it's your fault and all. But like this consultant practice, you will pay the 20,000 and they know you will pay. So like I said, shine your eyes. Don't think of any other thing aside getting your TB test done and done correctly. Focus. Don't lose guard. This jackpot thing is not easy. Every money counts. Okay, so don't go and dash somebody money for mistake that would have been avoidable. Guys, after deciding on the center, because the reason you are checking all of these centers is for you to decide where would I do my my TB test. So before I proceed, let me just say something, that try to do your TB test really early. Try to start your process, in fact, generally early. Yes, so some people are really lucky, like your visa could come out like in 1 week, it could come out in 2 weeks, it could come out in 3 days, even without paying for priority. But you guys, for some other people who were not so lucky, who did not have like all of that luxury of time, like for me, I waited 2 months plus. So this is me just giving you a heads up. Try as much as possible to start at least 3 months before school resumption. In fact, if you have the money, if you have the time, if you have the money already intact, start like 4 or 5 months before school's resumption. Because to be honest, UKVI, like they could delay you. Yes, and this can be really frustrating, especially with your deadlines really coming close. So guys, after deciding on the center to choose and where to go for your test, the next thing to do is to book an appointment. Okay, let me not be dramatic. The next thing to do is to book an appointment. So I'll include the link on where you can get all of that details. It's on gov.uk site. I'll include the link where you can see all of these centers and the link to book the appointment, the link to their website. So the link to book the appointment, when you click on that link, it directs you to their website where you can now book an appointment or speak to a customer rep, depending on if you have further inquiries and all of that. Mind you, when you do a quick Google search, UK TB test centers, or UK, where do I do my UK TB test, definitely you see different sites with places. Oh, this is where you can go, this is what you can do. But I would encourage you to go to gov.uk, because that's where they get the latest, the updated, and then the legit one, because most of these sites could actually be, scam sites and all of that, and most of them may not even be scam, but they don't update their details as often as gov.uk would do it. Because guess what, it took some time before some websites included Benin as part of the centers. Benin just started last year, I think mid last year. That's when they started doing like TB tests and all. But some other websites still had just Lagos and Abuja. It was only just like gov.uk that updated it so quick compared to other sites. So try to go to gov.uk. That's where you get direct link to these hospitals. You can now message them for further inquiries, book your appointment and all of that. So after booking, you fix a date and a time. Of course, I don't need to tell you to arrive at your center early. Arrive early before the time, because of course, the thing is really well organized. Like, all of the centers are organized, but you need to be there early so at least you can sit and calm down. Now, basically, the things they don't ask for a lot. It's mostly your passport and your receipt of payment. Yeah, everybody asks for confirmation of receipt. It could be physical, it could be from your phone, whatever. But they just need like a confirmation of payment. And then for IOM centers always require that you wear a nose mask. Please, I know it's not COVID time, and you say, what's the point of wearing it? Just come with a nose mask, because you could buy one at the center. If they tell you it's 1k at the center, there you go buy them. If they tell you it's 2k, you still buy it, because you don't have a choice at that point, because those centers are quite in an excluded. For Benin, is in an excluded area. You cannot get nose masks anywhere around there. Okay, so you will now be compelled to buy from them. Please check the websites. The websites always have further instructions on what to bring and what not to bring. So ensure, don't be distracted. Like I said, ensure that you come with those things, because these people are really very strict when it comes to migration, when it comes to like visa application, when it comes to all of these things. Japan, they are very strict. It's not the usual Nigerian way where you can beg your way out of it, or shortcut your way out of it. Nah, if they say you should come with something, try and come with it, because you can't. I don't need to talk too much, but just try to read in between the lines and ensure that you come with everything they ask you, to come with. So now that you are at the center and then you have done the test is really a straightforward test. You just come in, you do some paperwork, they check your weight, then you do like a physical examination with a doctor where they check your heart, your breathing, your whatever, all those physical touches. You guys, I'm kidding, but physical examination, not touches, okay? After your physical examination, you now go for your x-ray. So after the x-ray, they do all of the interpretation, and if everything is okay, they bring your certificates to you. Like I said, for IOM, I spent like 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours. It was so fast. So they bring your certificate to you after your examination. You are free from TB, you don't have any pulmonary disease. But if you have issues, they'll not ask for your sputum sample. They'll ask for your sputum samples and then do some tests, whatever. Nobody's praying to go through that long process. But according to them, the final result and everything will come out with the treatment, and everything will come out after 8 weeks. You guys, that is another reason I said start your process early. Nobody prays to have tuberculosis, but just in case, you have to wait for a whole 8 weeks. That's like 2 months. So your TB test certificate expires after 6 months. That means you still have time. So even if you start 3 months before school's resumption, it's still valid. 4 months before, it's still valid. So try and give a lot of space, just in case. Nobody's praying for that, but you just have to fathom all of these things in your planning. Okay, so your result, like I said, comes out immediately. If it's IOM centers or where you pay then you pay $95. But for the regular centers, you have to wait for 48 hours. That is why I said convenience. You have to consider if you live in Lagos, for instance, 48 hours is quite a small time. You just go home, and then 2 days later you are back to the center. You probably send someone with your passport to help you pick it up. But now if you live in Port Harcourt, you can imagine spending two extra nights sleeping in a hotel. Now check the amount you spend in that hotel. You just calculate it out. It's better I just add that money and pay like IOM, do it immediately, and leave. Okay, so yeah, that's about it. So guys, that's about this video. Again, I'll include the link to gov.uk's site so that you can go there for further reference. Every center has a link where you can book on that gov.uk. Every center has an email address. Every center has a contact address. Some of these centers, like some people have cloned their account number. Some people have done just ensure that you are doing business with these hospitals directly. You are not doing, nobody should come as a third party. Let me even tell you something that usually happens here. So when the deadlines are usually closed, maybe school is resuming next month or 3 weeks, people who are in a hurry to do their test result and all of that, they get to meet third parties who now tell them that don't worry, I'll book a closer date for you, because the farther the time, for instance, if you are for September batch and you start doing your whole process, let's say by May, you can easily book your TB appointment, and you can book 2 days ahead, 3 days ahead. There's still time, because I mean the rush hasn't started and it's not rush hour yet. But when it's rush hour, let's say you are going for September admission, and then by August, that's when you're doing your TB test. You will notice that in fact, before you get a date, you could get a date like 2 weeks after you book. Like that's how far you could get a date. So scammers now take that opportunity to tell you, oh, I'll help you book a closer date. Now lie you, there's no way anybody can help you book a closer date. I mean, even if your sibling works with IOM, they cannot help you book a closer date. So that is why, again, I'm saying, I know I'm sounding like a broken record at this point, but try and start your process, start your process really early, so that you beat the time, and then you will not fall prey to all of these people who want to help you. Okay, so that's about it. If you have any question, you can ask in the comments below, and of course, definitely I would respond to you. And then you can send me an email. Basically, just ask your question in the comment section, and I'll answer you. Then if there's any other thing, any aspect of my travel you want me to talk about, you can also, I think my phone is shaking at this point, sorry. If there's any aspect of my travel you want me to talk about, feel free to tell me, and of course I'll oblige you. After, that's why I'm here, right? Anyways, if you've not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, because I'm giving you a lot of UK content. It's not easy, and I know. So I'll give you a lot of UK content, so please subscribe, like, engage in this video, so that YouTube will know that this video is important to people, and then push it out to as many that need it. Okay, you guys, thank you. I'm talking too much, and I'll see you in the next one.